Hello guys and welcome back to another episode on the channel. In today's episode, what I want to do first is tackle a problem that I've discovered. If we have a look over here on the river, I noticed that at the port here at Goole, we're actually getting oil waiting for the ships to go back. Now this was never the actual intention, and after a little bit of digging I think I've realised what's happened is, as they're dropping the crude oil off here, the ships, it's converting it into oil and it's giving some down the intended route that we want in order for it to go up to the plastics factory and then be turned into goods over at the Wrestle Goods factory. But ever since we put the line in the last video here, what's happening is these ships are now taking oil from here all the way back to the end here, dropping it on the dock for the Driffield fuel line, which is then carrying it from here in a completely wasted journey all the way down to the oil refinery and then coming back up and dropping it off here. Because on this route for Driffield there's a need for this oil, it's allowing the ships on the other route, on the Driffield Goole crude oil, to bring oil for that route. So basically what we need to do is stop the Driffield Goole crude line from bringing oil back. And in order to do that, what I need to do is go into the managed line, and down at the Goole port here, we need to make sure that it's only unloading. We don't want it to load anything, we just want it to unload at Goole, and we want this to go back empty. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to take all the oil out of the route here, and mean we're not going to end up producing enough goods at the end here. Now speaking of goods, after just clicking on this, we can see there's actually 63 goods here, and we're actually losing them, so this line definitely needs more vehicles. What have we got on this line currently? See, we do have enough, but these guys are waiting here because it needs more steel. So we need more steel, and then in order to produce more steel, we've got almost 2,000 iron coming in, but we really need more coal. So where's our coal train here? No, that's the wrong one, that's the copper train, there we go. There's a coal, so you can see at the minute, you can carry 88. The copper train's already doing 104, so we need to add more to this. Now this train at the minute, it has a top speed, if I can find it. It's got to be here somewhere. There we go, top speed of 50 miles an hour, and it's currently getting up to that. So what we need to do is see if we can add some more carriages to this train. And we will need the gondolas, but we need the bigger ones with a top speed of 50. We want to go just until we get a 4 rating. There we go, that's a couple. We'll take these off here. Now you can see here that's gone from mediocre. If we add one more, it goes to poor there. And as you can see on the stats here, it'll only go up to 21 mile an hour on a medium terrain, and if it's flat, which this is pretty flat for here, it'll take 4 minutes to go up, whereas if we take that off to mediocre, it's 50 mile an hour in 4 or 3,000. So that hasn't actually made a lot of difference really, has it there? But look at that again. No, it doesn't, but we'll go with it because that gives it a capacity of 264. Does sound like a hell of a lot. It's 33 wagons, that's one hell of a train, so hopefully that will get us the coal we need. I just want to see how this fits, or whether this fits into here, or whether we may need. Now, that's a little bit too ridiculous for my liking. How many do we need to cut off here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's not handy that the train's turned around now, but if we take 9 off, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should look a bit healthier. I think what we're going to have to do is double track this line. So what I'll do is I'll do that in between episodes after this one, as you've already seen me put that line in once. Now what I wanted to do for the main part of this episode is finally link up Withensea, Winstead, Heddon, Allaby and Hornsea. Now we might not get through the whole way there in this episode, but I do want to make a good start, and I want to also have a station with a drop off for the airport in between here. What we may actually do is if I put the passenger terminal, we're going to need two tracks. We'll go 240. If we put this one here, and then we can just bus people from Withensea to the station. Or in fact, even better than that, if we have this one over here, we could use this bus terminal as the terminal for this station. We could have people bust in from Winestead and Withensea to here, and they can use the station, and then we've only got to connect up the rest of the towns. That's actually a pretty good idea. Now that is pointing in relatively the right area. This railroad here might be an issue. We might end up having to tunnel or bridge to get past here. If we have a quick look at the land use, the residential area of Heddon is at the top side there, so looking at where we want to go around to Allaby next, it looks like the residential's there with all the trees, and Hornsey's over that side, so we want to sort of come to the coast. We'll come to the coast this side of Hornsey, through the inside of Allaby here, the inside of Heddon, and then off to this side. So what I want to do first is get a couple of stations placed so we can see where we're at. Now this is the kind of time when I wish I had a mod that I've now learnt about, which is the curved station mod. That would be ideal for this. I'm going to put this one... Oh, I did not mean to place two of those. What I am going to do... turn that down just to normal speed so we don't skip too much. We'll go for high speed lines just because, why not? We'll keep catenaries because I don't think it's going to be a too distant future from when we start to actually use electric trains. Well, hopefully we'll go for that. What I think I'm going to do is tunnel under with this route. I don't want to interrupt the fuel line with that being a big money maker and the big slower heavier trains. We'll cut through here as long as it gives us a nice railroad crossing, which it does seem to be doing. With this being the last station, we are going to need a switch on it as well. So if we're travelling on the right, we'll be coming down this way. So we'll be pulling out onto here. I always try and have the slow side with the junction and the crossovers, just so that it doesn't slow the trains down that are coming in full speed. So for here, we want a sort of nice gentle curve around this way. For now, we can actually just go pretty straight though. I mean, if I was to just connect this straight in, what would it give me? It's actually just going to give me a crossover from the station. Now I don't want that at all, because that will interrupt too much. But I'm thinking if I come to about here, and then connect that, and then if I use the M and N keys for higher and lower, and that's still going to collide with the track. So if we take that back a little bit, which track have I got here? I've got the left-hand side track coming from my way. So if I was to connect into the station there and then go down, would it make it a tunnel? No. Okay, so we may actually have to bridge the fuel after all, the crude after all, but it should be up to a fair bit of speed by then if we do a nice gentle approach. So if I pause this because I'm about to absolutely ruin this junction, or not junction, this route even. That's weird. Construction not possible, but I'm not trying to construct anything. There we go, now it's done it. So what we need to do is I'll put the other track in first underneath, just so we know exactly what we're trying to clear with this one. But we need to make sure that this track isn't, or this route even isn't completely destroyed by us doing this. So if I get that straight into the station, and get the sister track there all the way down to where we ended it here, that'll be there. That sorts that out. We can come back in a minute and do all the signalling and stuff for that. But if I want to fly over, if I wanted to go to sort of here, would that let me bridge that gap? It will. And I just want a nice gentle. I don't want it to be too steep. That's not too steep at all. On the other side, there's a nice gentle curve. I'll take that. That keeps our fuel trains going at full speed, which it looks like it does. I can deal with that. We want to go side by side with that track all the way down, and then we just need to re-signal this. So we'll have ones before the road. We'll have one at the edge of the bridge. I know that one's... Oh, that one was incorrect. I know these are a bit close to the last ones, but they always look good just before the bridge. I'll have one about centre point. One at the other end of the bridge. One over here. There we go. That should sort us out. Okay, so now this track's in as well, coming from over the Withensea end here. actually, let's just make sure it hasn't screwed this line up, and then we can hit play again. Yeah, that's all working okay. Let's just see if this train coming down has any issues. Speed it up just to see. Top speed of this train is... Oh, we struggle to see the top speed for some reason. Top speed over 50 mile an hour. But it is doing 50 mile an hour over the bridge. Happy day, so it hasn't interrupted that line too much. Okay, so from this point now, I'll go around and put the road connection to the buses in after. I want to connect at least to Alibi in this episode. We'll get through here. We'll get Alibi in with, again, the final intended destination, the right hand side of Hornsey. So if we put this one out sort of this direction, that should work for us. We'll get the 2 tracks. We'll go left hand side into the left hand side here. That's a nice curve. 136 being the lowest speed. We can work with that. It's only a local commuter line, this anyway. We're not going to be reaching that sort of speed anytime soon. That'll go into that one. We've got some vehicles in bad condition. Actually, you know what? We should have plenty of time to do this. Why not? If it tends to be a little bit longer, it tends to be a little bit longer, but I'd like to get it all in today. I'd like this one to have the station by the sea. Try and get it close to... There we go. And then we can put a little passenger depot down there as well to bring people in from the residential area. And then we can just put the cross. See, if I hadn't have done this one, I would have had to put the cross down at the middle Alibi there, and it would have only been temporary, which I didn't want to do. You see where it's going down to 56 and 60 miles an hour here. I'd rather that be as the train's pulling out while it's already going slow. Otherwise, the train would be coming this way and have to slam its brakes on and lose speed going into the station. So we need a signal to stop another train going in while that train's in the station. And then what we need is a couple of separation signals along this stretch. I don't think we're going to be running a great deal of trains along here anyway, but the stations themselves, I've found out, do actually act as signals anyway, so it won't let a train out of the station if up until the next signal's not clear, so we can always rely on those as a little bit of a fallback. But that's another mod that I've heard about as well now that I'd like to get, the auto signal mod. You can set the distance in between, you put one signal down on one side of the track, and then from there it'll just sort the rest. Now, I'm going to put this one just before the road, so if it's waiting. Otherwise, if we put one here, the train will block the road while it's waiting. And then I think that one's close enough for the trains pulling out. That should be fine. Okay, so now we need to get the road set up here in Heddon. We'll go for Medium Street. Put a nice connection across the front there. Actually, I'll tell you what I've got. I saw somebody else do this online, which I think I'm going to do here. I want to connect this by using the actual passenger depot. If that, I don't know how they did. Ah, there we go. See that? Look, that's got a connection there. So we'll put that in, and then if you go into it to configure this station itself, you can add a second street access like that. And then if we just connect the roads to the town around to that now, we put that on a straight one. No, I don't like that. It doesn't line up quite straight. That. But if I go for a curved street, curve that around, that's a little bit too much, I think. Yeah, I don't really like that. We come around to about that's much better. And then I'd like that one to be straight. There we go. And then from here we can have a curve around to maybe not there actually. If we straighten that one a little bit, carry that on, and then just curve around to join into this. There we go, that looks much better. And then what we'll need is a couple of bus stops. So we'll have one on the loop down here. We'll go one here to pick up that. As the town grows, it'll encompass a lot more. We'll stick one there, and then it'll go around. We'll need a road depot. Where's the industrial side of town? Sort of down the bottom end here. We'll put this down out of the way of all the residential housing. And then from here, we want passengers. We've got some new buses. 31 mile an hour capacity of 10, so I think for now we'll just go with 2 and see how this goes. On a new line, it's going to go from the station and that simple loop around town. We want to call that RP for road passengers, and this is Headon, and it is a bus route. So there we go, that one's in. Those buses are already going around. There's already one person waiting to use it before the trains are even here, so that's not a bad shout at all. The people from Withensea and from Winestead can already get to this bus depot here. I believe it stops there on both directions. It does, yeah, so we might need to add a few more buses to that once the trains get going and people want to use it a bit more. But for now, I might actually do the same here. I wonder if we just twist it around this way, if we can just stick it on the end of here. It's a little bit too much. See, I don't want to delete that house. But what if I just stick a street onto here like this? A little bit of a cheat will let me delete that there like that. So, buildings again. See, this will annoy me if it's not square, so I'm going to square that up. It's not got to be perfect, but it's got to be somewhere within an acceptable area. That's okay, I'll take that. We will just actually connect that street up though. Upgrade that street, we'll upgrade the main road through town as well. For some reason you've got some small streets here. Okay, so we've got one stop there. I think if we come around the perimeter of the town, like so, I'll just try and put this one here. We will have one just in the residential for the sake of it. And it looks like this is the industrial side of town here, so we'll stick our depot over here. Straighten that up a little bit with Shift and N. And then this one for now, we'll go for 2 simply because the amount of money we've got now, it's not going to be an issue. We want to go from the station, we want to do that little loop around town. I don't like that it's coming down and around there, so what I want to do is stick a waypoint here. And then on that line, so after number 1 at the transfer, we want to come through that waypoint. There we go, and I'll do a nice square loop. So this is going to be RP for road passenger, Allaby bus. And from there, those buses are already on that loop. Perfect. And finally down here, we already connected this guy into the road, didn't we? Yes. Here we are going to need another passenger. Oof, there we go. That's your station, that's the word I'm looking for. So we want to go from here around, we'll have one here. One over at the side here. I want to join up this street. The straight road. Oh, I'm going to take the hit on that, I think, and delete that building. Just because it's really in the way. So we've got one down there. Come along the top here, get one here. And then we'll get one there, why not, just on the way. Is there any more small roads that want upgrading here? Yeah. One of those just cost us a little bit of money, I believe. And then we're going to need another road depot. Looks like industrial's down here, actually. So if we spin that around, it can go on the shore. If it will fit, that is. Doesn't look like it will, so it might have to go this side of the station. There we go. Now on this one, it's a bit of a bigger route, this, so we'll go for 3. We want a new line from the station. I thought we'd put a stop up there. It didn't go in by the look of it. There we go, so after the Broadway, we want to go to London Road, and then we want to go to North Road and then back again. Then this one is RP again, and it's Hornsey Bus. And the vehicles are on there. So all that's left for us to do now is to add a train depot and some trains. We've got some 66 passengers. We're going to need some new aeroplanes. Ooh, luckily looks like we've just got some. So let's have a look what we've got. We're currently flying these Douglas DC-4s. we want passengers. DC-4s currently carry 15 and we've just unlocked Lockheed Constellation, so we'll do a straight. Ah, big aircraft compatible with a small airport. Okay, so let's finish one thing at a time. We'll get this train depot up and running. We'll have one just off to the side here. A little bit of track. Oh, can't see. There we go. One little bit of track running in. And we'll have a signal on there just to let them come on. Now, what train do we go for here? Because it is only a smaller local route. Don't want anything drastic, really. I'm thinking even just an A35 will do here. Let's go with that for now and see. So top speed is 62. It's either of these two here. We go for 17. I want to go for 3 carriages. 51 will be fine. Just to keep the frequency up, we want I want 2 of those, so we'll duplicate that. Then we want to go to a new line from Withensea Airport to Hedon to Allaby and to Hornsea. And then what I want to call this, what do we want to call this? TP for train passenger. And then this is, it's sort of an island, isn't it, to us, because we have the river up the middle. Do we call it island commuter? Yeah, or, sorry, what we'll call it the seaside commuter because it's closest to the sea. Seaside commuter. I want to change the colour as well, that's a horrible colour. There we go. Hopefully now that'll run with little to no issue. I'm going to turn this one around straight away. Hopefully the line's figured out that it's going on 2 sides of the track it is. Help them spread out a little bit. Now, for the next thing, we've got time to cover it now, so I will do. We need to upgrade the size of these airports so we can accept the bigger aeroplanes. I think what we're going to have to do this is completely replace the whole thing. Because we have here a passenger airfield, we do have 1 runway for small passengers. Small and large is the big one, unless we configure this. No, see, we can't configure it with different size runways. So I think what we'll have to do is wait until there's no planes. We're obviously going to have to upgrade both ends. So if we can catch this side, there we go. Now that aeroplane's gone, if we delete this airport, we need a large passenger. Hopefully that'll connect still. It does, and it connects to the bus station and the truck station. So that's great. We've got there, is that passenger only at the minute? It is, so I need to configure this airfield. Because we need a cargo terminal as well. That is connected now, so that should have picked the lines up, which it looks like it has. Hopefully it hasn't ruined any of these. It doesn't look like it has. And then now what we need to do is wait for the same situation this side, where there's no aircraft. I'll speed up time. Hopefully once this guy gets going we can pause it just for a second, where the next aeroplane coming in is going to be. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get you out of here. He's waiting. Why are you waiting? Oh, don't know where he's just come from. There we go. Okay, looks like we need to wait for this guy to go then. Hopefully we will find that little sweet spot. If we did at the other end, so with equal spacing, we should get that same little gap of time here once one of them takes off. Is there anyone else on the way up? There is one flying over here now, which is the one that gave us the gap last time, I think. There we go. Let's try and jump in quickly. There we go. So airfield. We want the large passenger one. Ah. Now, this is going to cause us problems. Okay, so let's get the airport in as we need it. cargo terminal as well. Now what we're going to have to do is connect this road. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. We need the country road, don't we? That's why it was like that. And then what we want to do is connect a road all the way down here so we have the tentacle connection, which we have there. I don't want that to look so ugly there. I want to run a road all the way down the front of the building like so. And now if this one was to connect, I'm guessing that's not... Is that in range now? It is in range. Okay, so that's fine. We'll just have people walking all the way across. Which isn't the end of the world, but what I'd like to do is just move that. Just to save people the distance. We'll move that to here. And then we'll put a street in. Just to there. Hopefully everything reconnects. It has done. The aeroplanes are in. Are both lines in here? They are, yeah, it's just hard to see that the colour of that line. So we'll change that to a yellow. There we go, we can see they're both coming in now. So hopefully now we'll be able to upgrade our passenger aeroplanes as well. So if we click on, not the seaside commuter. That's the yellow one, it's throwing me because we've just changed the colour already. And then we wanted to replace those with the new Lockheed Super Constellation, didn't we? There we go, that's those done. And now let's have a look, see what we've just purchased. Look it down a little bit and have a look. They sound fantastic. I like the triple tail fin as well, that looks pretty cool. Oh, didn't expect to jump out of there. So while we're at it as well, we might as well have a quick look and see how the new train lines are doing. Oh wow. 23 people waiting there, 17 people waiting here. That leads to... the bus routes seem to be coping there. He hasn't been picked up at the end. But there's only one passenger. Down here we've got one with plenty of space on board. Has demand been driven up here? We've got 19 people waiting here. So what we do need to do is upgrade these guys. We'll upgrade them for the new buses. They've gone from 11, oh, actually down to 10, but the speed's gone up dramatically. And then what I'm going to do is stick another 2 of those on as well. They've now got a 30 mile an hour top speed. Or 31 mile an hour. Hopefully they can use that on all of these roads. They're up to speed there, yeah. That should bring that one down a little bit as well. He's heading back that way now, so he'll take 10 of that 21. Hopefully that'll balance out a little bit. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave it there for this episode. Thanks a lot for joining me again. And if you're interested in following this series along, make sure you subscribe. Leave a like on the video for me and drop any comments with any suggestions or things you'd like to see improved or worked on this map. So I'll see you in the next one.